Hi guys, glad to be back from the US Open, being a rules official there for the 34th time. You'd think it'd get old, but it doesn't, especially at a place like Erin Hills. Today I'm going to share with you a couple incidents from when I was on Rules Station. For the first time since 1991, this year at Erin Hills, all the officials were on station on the holes, rather than walking with the groups. That way a person could know all of the possible rules and not have any hesitancy at all in giving a ruling. So it worked better for the players that way this year. So this year my stations were the 18th hole and the 7th hole, the two par fives. So it was great fun watching these players trying to go at the green in two, and balls get into crazy places when guys are hitting it as hard as they do. In fact, one of the great amateurs in this year's Open was Braddulky, who'd be a Walker Cupper. Big, strong kid. He hit the ball to the right of the 7th green, going for it in two, down over a hill, down into tall fescue. I mean tall, it was above his knees. And his ball's down there and he's looking at it all the way down to the bottom of the grass, and his foot was on a burrowing animal hole that was the size of a post hole. And he wasn't sure he could get relief. So I come down and we're looking at it, and the question is, can you play the ball? And you go tie to the player, you presume honesty, and I said, Brad, can you hit that ball? Can you put a club on it? And he looked at it and you could see he was thinking, well, he said, I think I can. I said, okay, you're entitled to relief. If he said, I couldn't get my club to the ball, the answer would be, you have to take a penalty to get relief. In this case, he got free relief, knocked it up on the green, saved his par. In this situation, it was his answer to the question that determined whether or not he'd get relief. It has to be reasonable that you can play the ball. In his case, 6 foot, 195 pounds, going to be a great professional, he could get a club on the ball. If it were a 68-year-old golfer with an 18 handicap, I'd look at the same situation and I'm sorry, you're gonna have to take the penalty because you can't hit the ball. So free relief sometimes depends on the ability of the player.
And it depends on the honesty of their answer to the official.
I'm not gonna go that honesty, we presume honesty. One of the popular parts of that golf course are that so many areas around the greens are chipping areas that are cut very low, and so had a situation with J.B. Holmes at the 7th green. There were 2 sprinkler heads between his ball and the hole, and he wanted to putt, but one of them interfered with his line of play. But there's a local rule in place there that for sprinkler heads near a putting green, if it interferes with your line of play and you're within 2 club lengths of that sprinkler head, you get relief so you can putt without having to putt over the sprinkler head. Now he knew he got relief because he knew the local rule, but he called me over to make sure he was going to the right place. Because like other free relief, you don't get a club length, you have to drop at the nearest point. And with 2 sprinkler heads in the way, it turned out his nearest point was going to be between them, and he had to drop at that point. When a player takes relief, they have to drop the ball from shoulder height, and looking at 2 sprinkler heads, pretty good odds the ball was going to move one direction or the other. Normally in this situation, you'd expect that he'd have to drop it twice and then place it, as the rule requires. And in his case, he's a professional dropper. He let go of it, the ball landed right between the 2 sprinklers on a line where he had a clear line to the hole. He looked up and he said, I'm good. Off we went. Almost made the putt. These 2 incidents both show you that the rules can work to your benefit. And so knowing the rules can save you strokes. Many times players will go out, they'll see the sprinkler heads between themselves and the hole and just think they have to pitch over it. If that local rule's in play, you get relief. Even if you're in a really bad situation in the desert, if your foot's on a burrowing animal hole, you get relief. That's a rule of golf. Yeah. Those were just 2 of the incidents that I dealt with at the Open, and with all the officials there were many others, some great stories. I'm really looking forward to next year at Shinnecock, but even looking forward more to the Women's Open at Bedminster in New Jersey, and where Lorraine Thies from our office and I will be on the Rules Committee there. We'll have more stories for you in August. I guarantee you we're going to have some stories from the Women's Open, but it won't be about golf. Trump Bedminster?